Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I see we got Tim Windsor in here. Hi Tim. We got Happy Hunter. We got Poppy the Good Troll. We got Melinda Dobson. And let's see here, make sure nobody else. So I actually accidentally, and I see Tim was in here telling everybody to smash that thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. Sorry if it's bouncing right now. This is the new tripod that I got, and the phone holder is like adjustable, so whenever I touch it, it bounces a little bit. Hi, Kickapoo Crafty Cat, and we got Heather in here, and we got Kim. So I accidentally posted this live on my Backwoods page on accident. I wasn't logged off of it. I was in the middle of uploading tomorrow's video for Backwoods Mindset, and of course, it's like I gotta start making sure. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing? So I'm actually outside tonight. Um, it's a little spicy out. It's starting to cool down a little bit, but it was like almost 90 or was 90 today. Um, yeah, yeah. So I decided I'm probably not going to get to do too many more outside, um, comfortably, like where I don't have to have a fire going and stuff like that. But I probably will do some out there with the fire. Hi, Bruce. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Poppy the Good Troll always in here, always interacting, talking to everybody. We love having Poppy around. I'm doing good, Tim. I had a good week. It was a busy week. A lot going on in my brain, and I got a lot of things that I've been thinking about for multiple. I actually I have, and some of you know. Hi, Elaine. Thanks for stopping in. I have multiple channels. I have a comedy one. I have my Backwoods Mindset, and then I have this one. And I have ideas for every single channel. I've been working a lot, writing down ideas, getting stuff ready for you guys, to give you guys good content. Today, I figured that we would keep watch out for squitters. Squitters. I don't know what squitters means, but let's watch out for them. But we're going to go on with the with the spirit talk and the paranormal. I figured we'd get into that a little bit more. I do think that I saved the link, so if people do want to come up, I think I can post it in chat. Maybe I'm not sure. Oh, maybe I can't. Maybe I didn't think this through, because I don't think I can chat in the, or can I? Maybe I could. I don't know. Oh, see, now skeeters. Okay. You know what? Actually, it hasn't been too bad with the mosquitoes. Um, maybe if Mrs. Backwoods is watching this and she can bring me out her phone. I don't know how I would do that. I'm trying to think now. I'm confused because I thought I could comment while I was in here, but I'm not on my laptop. So let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's a way that I can do this. And I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, maybe I didn't do it right this time. And I'm sorry. I know I probably just cut off there for a minute. Um, but I guess maybe I'm not having people up again. I guess moving forward, I didn't even realize last time I did it on YouTube. This time I did it on StreamYard, but I don't have my laptop with me. So I don't know. I wish I could have people up here tonight, but we can talk in here. Yeah, the aliens, not tonight. The aliens didn't take me tonight. They did give me back. They wouldn't want to keep me anyways. But yeah, so I haven't. I know I told you that I had some things happen in this house. I had the one a couple weeks ago. I haven't had anything else recently happen. It's been pretty quiet. Um, well, and then I had that little flicker of the light when we were talking about Brian, which was pretty neat. Um, was really excited that that happened. That was kind of cool. I thought that was neat. That's what I'm streaming on my phone. That's the issue. I might be able to get out real quick and disappear for a minute and then post it in the YouTube thing. Hey, Outdoor Adventures with Carrie. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that. And then if somebody wants to come up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you in the basement. Want to make sure I knew who's coming up. When you come up, you can click off so your cam's off, so we don't see your face if you just want to talk. Um, we can do that, but I am going to check to make sure to see who it is because I want everybody to be respectful. While I say this, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out real quick. I might disappear for a minute. I will be back. I'm going to post the link into the chat from YouTube, and then you guys can come up if you want. I'm going to do one at a time. So the first one to pop up is going to be the first one to go. Keep it respectful. I ask that we don't curse. That's one thing I try to stay away from on all my channels. I just to be respectful. I want it to be enjoyable for everybody. So I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to go in and I'm going to post it from YouTube, and then I'll be right back. So I might disappear for a minute. So just know that I'll be right back. Okay. So I got it in there. I think you can see it. There's the link. Um, and that's okay, Melinda. But yeah, so what I'll do is when I see the guests come in there, the first one to come in, I'll pull them up. I'm hoping that I see it as it comes in order. I don't know, and you don't have to. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to. Like I said, there's a cam button down at the bottom. If you hit that cam button, you can turn the camera off, so it's just your voice. That's perfectly fine as well. If you have something that you want to bring up, maybe an experience that you had that we could talk about, this is going to go for an hour tonight. In the future, they may go longer, but I'm just going to keep it to an hour tonight. I did a live with Outdoor Adventures with Carrie last night, and we had a good time. But I have going to be doing 3 lives in a row because I have tomorrow nights for Backwoods Mindset. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm glad that all 16 people are in here. Like I was saying, I haven't had anything happen recently, um, so it would have been kind of cool if I did. I am going to be looking into doing um, some ghost hunts type stuff. We're going to be doing that. I might do a live on here while I'm out on the river fishing at night, and here soon do a Bigfoot talk while I'm outside, which I thought would be kind of neat. That's weird. You know what? I thought that they changed the tagging on the phone. I thought you could do it now too. So I'm not real sure what's happening there. Good night, Eileen. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you being here. Um, but yeah, so it's posted there. You can see the Beyond Spooky. I had to get off to post it, but I got it to work, so that's cool. It's okay, Kim. Stuff happens. You got to take care of business when it comes along. Um, but yeah, so I'm glad that everybody's in here. I guess we'll kick it off. So we were talking last week about spirits, and I wanted to continue with that. Um, can you hear all the dogs howl? They're going nuts right now. But anyways, we're going to continue with that. I've had quite a lot of experiences um, with spirits, paranormal, etc., etc. Um, I have, and I know I spoke briefly about my stepbrother last week who passed away. It would have been 10 years ago. And he was like my brother. Love the guy to death. I miss him horribly. A lot of people know that. It gets rough for me when it comes around the time that he passed at the end of November. But, and I'm sorry I'm saying a lot too. I'm just trying to process everything in my head and it's not going real good right now. But there's been a lot of things, and today, and this is on this spirit side of things, um, and I thought I'd bring this up. And now I don't know exactly how I feel about, like, I think mediums are super cool. Um, I think it's one of those things like you got to be careful, and you never know what is real, what's fake, what's going on. Um, but I went to, after my stepbrother passed away, I did go to a medium. Um, I don't think I don't think that counts, the neighbors bothering you, but that is a good question. Um, I think just to be as ridiculous as you can, that's what I would do. But I don't also want to give advice on how you should handle your neighbors, because I don't know how crazy they are. So, hi, Marion. But I went to a medium after my brother passed away. Um, my stepmom took me. It was somebody that she knew, and she was like a college teacher, very nice lady. But it was interesting, and I did find out a lot of things. Um, I think that it was real. I think that what happened, and she actually gave me a recording um, of our session, which was pretty long. So I think I was there for like 2.5 hours, and she didn't charge me. So it was, she was very nice. I got a lot from it. Um, and you can hear things, and maybe I'll try to play it I got big bugs flying around here right now, all over the place. So if you guys see bugs flying in front of the camera, I'm sorry. But, I got a lot of information. She told me a lot of stuff that ended up being true that I did find out later. Um, Bruce Jensen says, I was going through a bad time, and my grandmother, who had passed many years before, woke me out of a dead sleep and told me to get my ducks in order. It was the most unnerving thing I ever experienced. Wow, Bruce. Yeah, that's and I have I can kind of talk about that a little bit. I had an instance where I did have something similar happen. It was after my grandfather passed, when I think I was about 8 years old. I was in second grade, and my grandfather had passed away, and it wasn't telling me to get my. I got an itch on my back. I'm sorry. My grandfather wasn't, of course, telling me I was an 8-year old, so he wasn't telling me to get my ducks in a row. Um, but he did come to tell me that everything was going to be okay. And I miss him very much. That was a long time ago. That was 19, almost 19. It's going to be 19 years here pretty soon. And 19 years this January. But is it not? No, not 19, 29. I'm getting old. 29 years. Um, oh, awesome, Tim. Yeah, you got to take care of those dishes, man. Don't want to leave a mess. Um, but yeah, I was laying in my bed, and I wish I had a picture, and I might start planning this out a little better, so I actually have things to show. Like I could actually show you pictures of how everything was set up, so I can explain. Or I might do videos on that. Might be my videos for this channel, is explaining things and kind of showing. I mean, I won't be able to show everything, but um, yeah, he came to me, and he came down the hallway, and I could hear him walking down the hallway. And my bedroom was at an angle, so the hallway goes down, and then it splits off. And my mom's room was my mom and dad's room was over the side. This is where my parents were still married before they got divorced, and my room was straight ahead. And my bed ran the same direction that the hallway did. So if you came into my room and you looked to the left, if you were entering, I would be facing the door if I was laying on my side, and I was. And he came in, and he came over, and he sat down on my bed, and he talked to me, and I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared. I knew it was my grandpa. I could tell the way he was. Just everything about it. But that was the first time that I can remember a scent of something that I experienced. There, growing up, he was a heavy smoker. He smoked a Pall Mall filterless, and he had a beer tap in the kitchen next to his chair, a kegerator. And I remember those smells of just being in his house, and I could smell it when he came up to me. But yeah, that was something that I had similar. Like I said, it wasn't about me getting my ducks in a row, but it definitely what it was. It was nice. I think it's nice when it's family. It feels good when it's family. I think that would be the best way to say it. No, I could see him. It wasn't even translucent. It was almost full body. Um, like the bed went down. He looked like he there. It wasn't like seeing through. It was like he was there. And this would have been, and this is crazy because you got to remember this was 29 years ago, but I remember it very clearly. Um, and I can even picture everything. But it must have been, I don't know, a day or two after we buried him. So, so it wasn't just a sense; it was an actual, and it was vocal. It was smelling. It was seeing, and it was almost like complete human. But he told me it was going to be okay. But I do miss him. It helped as a child, um, to have that happen. But I was never one that was afraid of things. Now, the house that I grew up in, or that I was first like real little, I think we moved out when I was about 4. That house, um, I had, I don't remember anything specifically, but I remember feeling uneasy being in that house. I guess is the best way that I'd describe it. It wasn't a normal um, scared. It was, there were things that I just didn't want to. Um, Bugs are getting in my eyes. Certain areas of the house that bothered me. One was the basement. Um, the basement was, it was an old basement. It was a real damp. We didn't have anything down there. It wasn't like a finished basement or anything. It was a basement. It wasn't. but my bedroom was up on the top floor, and it was just. I remember the house. I could even draw a picture out of the house. That's how well I remember it. I remember a lot of stuff long time ago. Not so good at remembering things that are current. But yeah, it was that house had there was something different about it, and it's still there. I pass it all the time. But my parents rented that one, and this was the first house that they bought that we moved into, where I saw my grandfather. My daughter took a picture of my husband and I sitting on the couch, and a man's image appeared between us in the photo. Well, that's awesome. Do you still have the picture by chance? Poppy, if you don't, not a big deal, but I would love to see that picture if your daughter still has it, or that'd be awesome. Yeah, Tim, it was more than just like, and those basements are creepy. With the last house we lived in was like that. It was I think the house was built like 1908, and the basement was a basement. Um, but yeah, they are creepy. But this was more than just being creepy or feeling creepy. I had a bad sense. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Walter Jubb Jr., thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. It was wild, Carrie. It was different. Oh, you can't find it. Maybe one day you will find it. That's the thing, you know. That'd be awesome though. If you ever do find it, so please send it over to me. I would love to see that. I've had some interesting photos too, um, over the years, mostly on cell phone, and it wasn't really stuff. It was more, and we talked about it last week. Orbs. It was a lot more orb stuff uh, than it was actually seeing people. But I always get a kick out of looking at photos like that because I mean, you never know. And there's a gazillion different things that it can be. Just coming from a um, I don't want to say that like it's like that you don't not believe it, but there's other things that can cause things. But in a picture like that, you never know. Um, but yeah, what about you guys? If do you have it? Like I know a lot of people here, bring up stuff, but I know Carrie and I have talked about some stuff that she's had happen in her life. You know, pertaining to spirits and stuff. But and there's other people in here that bring up stuff. But how do you feel if you've had it happen? Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing? How do you feel when it's a family member, or if it's a family member that has come back to visit you or see you? Um, like I said, I find it almost comforting. Um, there's been many times where I've had my stepbrother, and my stepbrother's been it's been important times where I've ended up seeing him. I dropped the link in there. It's somewhere all the way up at the top. I don't know if somebody can copy and paste it. Are you able to do that? Because every time I go to post the link, I have to go out and go into YouTube and post it in the chat and then come back because I'm on my phone and I didn't plan this out real well. Only strangers, huh, Poppy? That's interesting. And I wonder, you know what? I wish there was a way to know why. Like, why do I have family members, and then other people have people that they don't know, strangers. That to me, it's interesting. It's fascinating that it's not the same. You think that family would be a regular thing that people would see. I felt very comforted when my son ran up to me in a dream and said he was okay. That's awesome. That's great. I'm happy that you had that Kickapoo Crafty Cat. That I mean, those are good feelings to have, especially messages like that too. When you get something like that, I have took pictures of a haunted house in my area with a camera with film in my earlier years, but it's weird. All the other pictures developed, but not the ones of the haunted house. That's weird. That is odd. It's strange. Um, and they were just black, huh? That's just like negatives. Is that what it was like? Deja vu. I get deja vu things all the time, like regularly, all the time. And that can be kind of unsettling sometimes too. I don't like it. That's one thing that I don't like. I don't like the deja vu thing. It doesn't do me well. And the smells come back. It's really strong. Yeah, yeah. That's what I've heard is that it's real strong. I haven't had too many scent things. I have scent things like where I don't see anything, and I smell something that reminds me of specific things, like my great grandmother. There's times with that, but oh, Kickapoo Crafty, huh? That's interesting. Um, but we don't know how afterlife works. So, do you still mature in afterlife? I mean, maybe, or was it, or and I'm sorry, I'm bringing this up, Kickapoo Crafty Cat. I don't want to make you upset when we're talking about this because I know we're talking um, about your son, but was it like an older version of him, or was it the 8-month-old version of him talking? That's weird, Tim, to just have straight up black pictures like that. That is odd. It's too bad that there you didn't have the negatives or anything to go back through and check, because I would have done that right away. I would have been trying to see if I could see anything. They say you do until age 30. I wonder how they come up with those figures. That's interesting. And I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why I ask questions, and that's why I'm doing this too, because we can learn new things. And I learned that, but I had no idea that age 30 was a thing. And I wonder why, at the same time, I wonder why it's 30. Okay. So that's interesting, Kickapoo Crafty Cat. Okay. Carrie, you're more than welcome to the links up at the top. If you can go up there, or if somebody can go up and grab it and repost it. It's really hard. Like, I'll have to get out, and I can, but I just wanted to see if maybe somebody could just go up there and get that. Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate it. I'm glad I can. I'm trying to ask good questions because while I have had experiences and enjoy talking about this stuff and enjoy talking to other people, I also like learning because I feel like it's constant learning with the spirits and the paranormal and everything. I mean, it's never ending because there is no definite. We don't know until we're on that side. Oh, here we go. They found it. Here, I'm going to pull Carrie up here. So the first guest on here, say hi. Can I hear you?
Hi, can you hear me?
There we go. We can
Testing.
hear you. Can everybody hear Carrie? Because we didn't test on this one.
Yeah, testing. 1, 2.
There you go. so
Cool.
so this is different because last night we were chatting about outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be talking about your house.
Yes.
And
So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just going to start this off just because I think people that are in here, a lot of them were in the chat last night. So some people know who you are, but not everybody knows who you are. So why don't you tell everybody just a little bit, real quick, just about yourself? So,
All right, guys, I'm Carrie. I am from Oklahoma. I do a lot of stuff outside, fishing, kayaking, hiking, uh, anything outdoors. So I kind of made a YouTube channel about that and throw in a little bit of my personality and thoughts, and yeah. And I've made friends with Matt along the way. So that's how this all has happened.
yep. And Carrie's an awesome person. And
Thank
we
you.
had we've had talks about this stuff. I think
Yeah.
I was even talking to you about this when I think I was thinking about starting the channel, wasn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
And I think
Yeah.
that's how it came up, because I think we were talking about some things, and it was
Yeah.
just everything just kind of snowballed together when I was talking about starting this channel.
Yeah.
Um, but what
And
so
it was a great idea. This channel is a great idea, by the way.
well, thank you. So you live in Oklahoma,
Correct.
and Oklahoma has a lot of old history too.
Yeah, a lot of Native American land,
Yes. Now,
primarily.
um, Carrie, you having a storm, keep seeing flashing in your window.
Yes, big storms coming through right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's spooky.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It is spooky.
but didn't say strange. I said good. Oh, okay. Um, so with that being said, now like where you live, um, are you in an older home?
No, but I'm in an older neighborhood. So this
Oh,
neighborhood was actually like a homestead, and the original house is still just right down the road, and the guy was a hog farmer. So I know for like, when the state became a state, this used to be a hog farm.
okay.
So yeah, my neighborhood was. And I don't really know necessarily, if the spirit's old, if it's young. I'm not really
Okay.
sure. But I moved in 2013, and it was just shortly after I moved in, weird stuff started happening. Like my front door, and I'm like a person of science. I mean, I'm a person of faith, but I'm also like a person of science. I need something logical to explain things. So I'm not
That
just
makes
like always in this, fantasy mindset. So I'm not coming from that place, but my my front door would be locked and dead bolted, and it would just open. And there would be people sitting there, and I wasn't the only one who was witnessing this. I had a roommate at the time when I first moved into this house, and I
okay.
mean, it was shocking to everyone. Things kept going. I had lights that would come on and off by themselves, and when I would go turn the light switch for it to go off, nothing would happen. The light would stay on. And I even had the house checked out for electrical issues because I was concerned, like, what
Okay.
if this is what if there might be like an electrical issue and it could start a fire? So, but the thing that gave it away for me was my at this time, both of my daughters were very young, so like 2 and 4 years old,
Okay.
and they had sippy cups at the time. And one morning, my daughter brought me her sippy cup, and she's like, "I want more milk." And I was like, "Okay, after the day, I'll get you some more." And I tossed my covers back, and the sippy cup disappeared. And I keep my house very clean. I looked
Wow.
everywhere for this dang cup. I'm like, I folded up the blankets. We looked under the bed. We started looking at other portions of the house. I had to get to work. So I was like, you know what? We'll just look for it when we come home. I went out and bought an extra cup so she could take it with her to daycare.
Mhm.
And then I was still like, where's that cup? It's got to be somewhere. And so we came home, looked for it, nowhere. So I gave up on it. Later that night, I had put the girls to bed, and they're really young. So when you've got toddlers, you have to kind of put them in bed, 6 times sometimes.
Oh, I know.
Yes. And I had gone in there so many times to my youngest daughter's room. And I finally was like, all right, you got to go to bed. And I patted her on the butt, just swatted her. I didn't spank her or anything, but it was more of like to let her know you can't
Come
do
on, let's
this,
get going. Yeah.
Exactly. And I walked back into my bedroom from doing that. And I had not been out of my room for maybe 45 seconds. Walked back into my bedroom, and the sippy cup I had been looking for is sitting on my dog's face, like
Like on
on
his
her
nose.
face. Yes. And my dog's eyes are like this.
Oh,
And I'm
really?
just, yeah, I paused in the doorway because I was just like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? And it happened after I had gotten on to my youngest daughter, like the most severe that I had gotten onto her. And when I came back in there, the way I perceived it was the spirit was like, okay, here's the sippy cup. Like, don't be so frustrated.
Yeah.
But that was shocking.
That's almost like poltergeist type
Yes.
something.
Yes. Because the
Real
cup was
quick, I
gone.
see Melinda Dobson says, Carrie, are you in southwestern Oklahoma? Sorry, southeastern. My family all died there.
Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, but no, I'm in the central part of Oklahoma.
South Central.
South Central.
South Central. No,
Yeah,
that's wild though.
South
And
Central.
that's now with that being said, now I know you said that it was your daughter's sippy cup.
Hmm.
Did your daughters ever say that they saw anything or like, and I know they were young then, 4 and 2. I just know from my experience with Darcy that Darcy told me things, when she was
Right.
3, 4 years old. Oh, I saw this, or there were names. That was the thing. Darcy always gave me names. But did your daughters ever say, "Hey, mom, there's something took my sippy cup," or
Nothing like that, but she was in her room playing and not like she was playing by herself. Right? So,
yeah,
she was in there playing with a toy and she was talking to whoever, and she was like 2. My older daughter, yes. They've told
okay,
me they've seen, they can't give necessarily names, but they'll say, oh, I've seen, I saw this out of the corner of my eye. Also, right around that time, I'm sorry if you guys hear thunder and lightning, it is just coming down. But around that time, me and my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter were downstairs in the kitchen area. And I was talking to my oldest daughter, and there was a plastic cup that was on the counter, and it like flew off the counter behind her and across the kitchen. And I was just like, looking at her, and she didn't necessarily know that. She just was like, what's that sound? But for me, it was like, what is going on? And we had just bought the house. It's not like I was renting and could just move out.
yeah, oh yeah. No, I
It was,
understand. Let's see here. We got a message here from Tammy Blake too. It says, "I took a picture a while back. We were outside having a fire one night, and in the photo was our dog that passed away a few years ago. It was like
wow,
she was right there with us. That's wild.
that
But
is wild.
I kind of talked about that last week about animals,
Yeah.
supernatural spirit with animals sensing, and that's crazy because you brought up your dog with the cup and the eyes with the Scooby
Hmm.
Doo eyes going on,
Oh yeah,
and that's
she was frozen, like, and it's a pit bull. The dog I had is a pit bull, and
yeah,
she just she didn't move, and I mean, it didn't make any sense, and I still try to go find the logical explanation, but there just isn't one for
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Well, and then we have Tim Windsor over here said, "Glad to have somewhere to open up. People on my job think I am absolutely crazy talking about ghosts here in my house." And you know what, Tim? there's absolutely, you're not crazy.
No,
There is
you're not.
more people, and there's a lot of people, and just because they haven't had something happen or they haven't realized that they had something happen,
Hmm.
you know, doesn't make you crazy or wrong. So you don't worry about that. And you're always welcome here. Anybody that ever wants to talk about stuff is always welcome here, and always welcome to come up, just like Carrie did right now. And this is excellent. I'm glad because I know you've told me some of this in the
Yeah.
past. Not everything though.
Yeah, I was saving that one
Did you hear that?
for this. Yeah, I did. What was that?
I don't know. I have no idea. It didn't sound like a gunshot though, did it?
Hmm. Was that it again?
Yeah. It almost
It
sounds
sounds
like a
like,
musket.
yeah. Do we
I
have
don't know.
Civil War? Do we have Civil War era people trying to visit?
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, that's I don't weird though. I don't know what that is. It doesn't sound like a firework. That's what's weird. That's strange. Anyways, I don't know. Who knows? You never know what you're going to hear when you're on my lives, apparently. And we know this. We know this. We
Yeah.
get cars, trains, helicopters,
Planes and
gunshots.
automobiles.
You never know. Police sirens. You can have anything at any time. Let's see here, and that Melinda says it's okay, Tim. I've lived with ghosts too. And Tim says, but the funny thing is, I invite them to come experience it, and they won't come over. And I think a lot of that, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, is fear.
Hmm.
Fear can block out a lot. If you're not open to something, you're not gonna have that same mental experience that you would if you were afraid or closed minded or trying to keep that out. Um,
Correct.
but now with you, and I know you said that like you do try to look into to see if there's an explanation. You
Right.
try to look for a scientific explanation before you go straight to the it's a spirit, it's a ghost, it's whatever it
Yeah.
is. Now, and I know a lot of people probably watch TV shows and stuff like that, but like when the door was opening, and I know you said the deadbolt was locked, but like, was there anything else? Like, what were like when the cup flew across the room? Like, what were steps that you did, to kind of say, okay, I know what this is because this can't happen. Like, walk us through. Like, you saw that happen. What was the first thing you did after that happened?
Well, so like for example, like the cup thing was with my dog. After that, I mean, I literally stood frozen in my doorway for a good 2 minutes, like processing. Am I crazy? Like, am I hallucinating? Is this real?
Mm-hmm.
I started to question like my own brain for a second because
Yeah, like pinch
it
me. Am
was,
I asleep? Like yeah.
yeah, am I awake right now? And then I went through, tried to go through all the scenarios how this could happen, and there's just, I couldn't think of anything. Like, how did this happen in 45 seconds? Unless there's somebody physically in my house that I'm not aware of that's, stealthily moving about. But it's not like I have a huge upstairs. All the bedrooms are up here. So I
Okay.
would know, and I would hear them. The dog didn't move. I mean, she was in the same position she was in. And at that point, so many other things had happened that I was like, I can't deny this anymore.
It's just adding
Before,
up.
yeah, before that, I was like, what if what if it's an electrical problem? What if it's, what if the deadbolt, there could be always something. What if there's a gap in the door that's preventing it from actually latching and, anything like that. None of those things were the case. So what ended up happening was I had a conversation with it. I think I mentioned this last week when just chatting in your live, but I realized that it was making itself, like it was trying to make itself known.
Mm-hmm.
After I had gone through all the logical steps, I started moving over to like the spiritual side to try to understand what was going on. And it obviously lives here. And,
Yeah.
it wanted me to know that. And it wasn't doing anything threatening towards my kids. So I felt like it liked kids. It just wanted me to know it was here. And when I had a talk with it, I just talked to it like a person, like another person. And I'll be honest, I felt absolutely nuts, like cuckoo, talking to it.
Real
But
quick,
I knew I needed.
I just real quick, I just want to say bye, goodbye to Bruce. He's taken off for the night here, and he just said, "I got to go. This is the best channel yet, and I will be here every time." And I appreciate it, Bruce, and you're welcome here every time. And I'm glad that you enjoy it. But thank you and good night, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. But back to what you were saying. I'm sorry I cut you off there, Kara. I just
No,
wanted
you're
to make
good.
sure I got a chance to say good night to him before you left.
Understandable. I
Yeah.
totally understand it. Yeah. So I sat down and talked to it like a person, and I totally felt crazy, but I just said to it, like, I realize that you're here, and I realize that you want to be known, and that's okay. But please don't startle me. Please don't startle my children. Please don't keep my kids up when I've said for them to go to bed. And then I also asked it to like help me protect the house from maybe things I can't see, like if there's spiritual forces or whatever, that sort
Oh
of
yeah.
thing. And it since doing that, everything, all of the weird stuff has stopped. The unexplainable stuff it came to a complete
It
stop.
just
Ended
Was it
completely. And
immediately? It was it like just like boom, and it was just done after that, or
yes. However, I believe that it's actually helped me keep an eye on the house,
mm-hmm.
because I had a roommate that I didn't know very well that had moved in briefly, and it was like things that I shouldn't have found or stumbled upon. I accidentally stumbled upon, and it was like, oh, I've got to get rid of this roommate. And
Yeah.
I still kind of question, like, how did that happen? How was this placed in this certain spot for me to accidentally stumble upon it and be like, I can't have you living in my house. And I really feel like whatever is here has continued to help watch over this house.
Now, do you feel like it is a singular spirit, or do you feel like it's multiple?
I think that there could be multiple, because I can't put my hand on it if it's like an older woman. At first I thought it was an older woman, but at this point, since my dad has passed, I know that he's around. And
Okay.
so I don't think that my dad is the same spirit that was here. I think they're two different things, kind of going on. But I do feel my dad's presence, and I'm aware.
Well, and that's the thing. Now, have you ever seen? I mean, now seen a figure, whether it be a shadow, a body, something that's transparent. Have you ever seen that, or is it just things like I said before, like the poltergeist, things being moved, things being knocked over?
So I see shadow like out of the corner of my eyes regularly. There's shadows like that'll walk past, not necessarily like down a hallway, but it looks like it's walking into another room, to the point where I think it's my kid or
Okay.
somebody. Like today I was loading my car up to go fishing, and I swear I saw someone walk out of my front door towards my fire pit area. And so it's just a small area, but I swear I saw someone. And then I went to go look to just double check, and I'm like, what is going on? What in the world,
Oh,
But
oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Now,
it
now,
happened.
being honest and being transparent, have you ever
Hmm.
had something happen where you thought it was and it wasn't?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The complete
Like
opposite.
yeah, the complete opposite. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then sometimes it's been like the shadow thing, because that's kind of a frequent thing for me. Is I'll see something out of the corner of my eye and I'll look and it's not there. But I have had a couple of times where I look and I see a shadow or a dark spot, maybe even driving sometimes out in the
Okay.
country. It's happened a lot. But anytime I'm in a outside in a dark spot and I think I see a shadow and I get up closer, it's nothing like I thought it looks like what I thought it was, but it's
But it's not.
literally like, yeah, a tree or maybe like a black shirt that's been draped funky across something. I've had that happen, in chairs in my house. I'm like, what is that?
Oh yeah, big time. And I know, and that's things that like as a child I specifically remember
Yeah.
where where it is. But that's something that I think is really important when dealing with paranormal or just anything paranormal, and or odd or spooky, is
Yeah.
doing investigation into what you're seeing to confirm, to be able to help confirm. And you might not always be able to, but to at least get an idea if it's something that you can confirm but can't deny.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it's important because otherwise, you kind of just you exist in a fantasy land. And I think that undermines all of the real experiences that people have that maybe, we label as supernatural, but it's just that something science hasn't figured out just yet.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And so if you just chalk everything up to, oh, that was a spirit, whenever it might not have been, it could have been
oh,
something else, then it undermines when people actually do come into contact with that stuff.
well, and I think that's a happy hunter said. Sometimes they just want validation,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's something, regardless of the way that you go about how you respond to it. Sometimes just talking, and this goes when you think about it, and it's funny to bring up, but it goes with spirits and it goes with your everyday
People.
life.
They,
People want to be validated too,
yeah, they
just
just
in
want a
a
little
spirit,
a little bit of acknowledgement.
and that's those are all important things, whether they're here or not here. People want
Yeah,
to be validated. Um,
exactly.
and Melinda Dobson says mine didn't. He just creaks the second stair down from the top. So that's that's interesting and like oddly specific, like the
Yeah,
second stair for the top. And I wonder if there's
a
um,
reason.
a reason. Happy Hunter says he is eavesdropping, and I cannot talk tonight, Carrie. I think I've been talking too much the last couple of days here. It's been a lot of
Oh,
talking last week. Um,
you've done a lot of lives.
a lot. I've been a busy man this week. Um, well, I did what, four? That's 4 hours, five and a half, six. So when this ends, which we got like 7 minutes left, when this ends, this will be like 6 or 7 hours. I think this week
That's
live, I've done.
that's a lot. That's a
Well, and
lot of
if you
hours.
can go from it would be 8 if you go from last Sunday to
Yep.
Sunday, it would be 8 hours that I've done live. So it is quite a bit.
You've done a full work day.
Yep. And Melinda here says, I sure hope after I moved out. Um, I actually, that's funny to think about that just in the lives, like talking was
Hmm.
one full work day
Work
of
day.
talking, of
Yeah.
talking.
It's
That's,
all straight talking the whole time.
yeah, 8 hours. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of talking. Um, and then my videos on top of it. But that's what I'm trying to
Mhm.
figure off topic right now, but I'm trying to figure out how to work some videos in to this channel as well. And I got some ideas, and I think it's going to be fun, but I don't know. And things keep, I've been talking to you lately about that stuff, and everything's just piling up in my head right now. So I got a gazillion things. going on. I did have fun. Kickapoo Crafty Cat. Did have fun. But so, what if somebody was watching this and they might have had their first encounter,
Mhm.
whether it be a spirit, whatever, they've had their first encounter. What advice from somebody that seems like they've handled it pretty well? What advice could you give somebody?
Um, don't question your own sanity. First of all, unless you have like a disorder, but honestly, whoa. Did you see that? All my lights just flashed.
Oh, did that storm's getting
Yeah.
close?
Yeah. Don't question your sanity. Stay calm, I think is one. And I think that it's easy to get scared, and it's easy because it's things that we don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
when other people, if you decide that you want to talk to other people about it, kind of test the waters, because other people will try to, if they're not a believer, they might make you question your own sanity. And so it kind of goes back to that. And it's like, no, you need to find other people who maybe have had similar experiences. And because, again, validation. Um, but things can be weird. And I think that a lot of us are very quick to just chalk it up as, oh, that didn't happen, or maybe it was my imagination, and that's the people who say, oh, I've never had an experience. But sometimes if you might be having more experiences than you're aware of. And if you're just
Mm-hmm.
become a little bit more open to it and not so scared of it, it'll reveal itself a little bit more.
Oh, I agree 100%. And Melinda Dobson followed up with the neighbors told me a man fell from upstairs. I didn't know he died.
Oh,
I didn't know he died from upstairs. And then
wow.
Jeff messing around says, I had what I sensed was an older woman, which some of us call a cougar, that used to live in the duplex. My wife and I both saw the shadow and felt the same way. Never harmful. Well, that's always good, Jeff, especially when they're not,
That's good.
when you don't feel threatened or you don't feel harmed. Poppy the Good Troll says, my experience was in a rental house and I could hear a man whistle every time I took a shower. That's
Creepy.
that's
Now that's
really creepy. Yeah, that's
that's
like
very creepy.
like that kind of whistle,
Yeah.
or like a whistle while
That's
you work kind of whistle. I
that
hope when I moved out, he quit. I told him stop scaring me. Um, yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to go back and see who's there now, and see. I wish there
yeah.
was a way to do that without sounding like a complete. I mean, you go and you knock on somebody's door, and you're like, "Hey, I used to live here. Have you had anything weird happen to you in this house?" Like, I feel like, especially like this day and age, you're going to have the cops called on you. There's no way around that. Somebody's going to be showing up. You're going to get taken away. It's
Yeah.
There's no good way to go about that. Uh,
Oh yeah.
but but it is interesting, and I wish there was a way to find out. It would be like paranormal misconnections
I
on
know.
Craigslist.
Or
You
like
could
a
go on and
Zillow
put
for haunted houses.
yeah, you could go on and put what's happened there, and you give me ideas now. Now I need to start making more money, Carrie. How cool would that be, though, to have a database where people could log in their address and put what they've had happen there? But the only thing that creates an issue with that is, are people going to start showing up at those houses if the address was on there?
Right,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
sure that's probably why there isn't one. But would be neat if there was a database where people could go in and there's an address, but there's nothing listed to it, and there's no name, but you could connect if you wanted to connect.
That's a good idea. That's a
So
good
it would,
idea.
like, there's like, so like this person has to do this and this person has to do this so that they connect. But it never,
Like
you don't know until you connect.
Kind of like a dating app, right?
I
For
guess, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I get
same
that.
kind
I
of
get
concept.
pretty much what I just described. But as I know, because I watch Coast to Coast, they do have a paranormal dating app. It's like paranormaldate.com, which is, I mean, there's something for everybody, right?
That's yeah. If they've got
But
farmers only,
it's
they might as
funny.
well have.
It's still kind of funny to hear though that they have a specific app for that. I guess it's like farmers only, you know. Um, yeah, Cheryl, and that's what I'm not telling anybody to go back to your house that you used to live in and go ask them. And I don't want anybody to do that and get in trouble. But Heather, yes, I guess it would be. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's. I mean, I see enough people. You know, I'm guessing it would be like Tinder for haunted house searching, um, which can be super
But
interesting. But
that would
we
be
are at that 1 hour mark. We're going over it. I could keep going on for forever, but I got an early day tomorrow.
me
Got to get up,
too.
gotta get the kids. You wouldn't know if they were being truthful on there either. Well, and that's why I think if you were doing it where it was like mutual on both
Hmm.
ends, that you might get a little more truth because people wouldn't waste their time.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
I agree.
and I'm going to check that out, Happy Hunter. Gold Hill in North Carolina. I'll look into that. But I do want to thank everybody. A flash of light flew over my head a few minutes ago. I'll have to go back and take a look. But I do appreciate everybody being on here. I want to thank Carrie for coming up. And this is kind of how things go. I'm glad that you did it to kind of show other people what they can expect if they were to come up. And I want you to show them real quick, because I taught you last night. If you don't want to be on camera, show them what you can do
You
real
can just
quick.
press
So,
this button. See?
and then
Can you
you're
still hear
gone,
me?
and
Yeah.
you can still hear. So
So if
if
you
you
have a
didn't
bad
want
hair
to,
day.
yeah, or you don't want to be seen, or you can do that too. And like I said, you can always email me. I try to post the stuff in the descriptions with my email address. I'll get on it. I don't have it in this one, but I will get it posted out there. So if you do want to contact me, you can, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you over email, through Messenger, whatever, too. This is slowly growing, so I'm not set up like I do have my Backwoods Mindset set up. And it's something that it would take a lot of work to get both of them going. I do want to grow this one. I want to make it better. Like I said, tell your friends if you like the way this goes. Real quick, Jeff messing around has a. I was feeding a dog cat. I had paper plate and a plastic spoon on the counter. I turned to pantry to get the food and heard a sound. I turned and the spoon in the bowl, and the bowl was on the plate. That's wild. That's wild.
Well,
Yeah, but that's something like Jeff. If you ever want to come up, next
yeah.
week I'm going to have this more set up. I'm learning as I go. There's a little bit of a learning curve because I'm doing this different than I've done stuff before. So I'm learning as I go, but I'm excited for you guys to be learning, and it's going to get better, I promise. Because anybody that knows me knows I put my heart and soul into everything I do. So, but once
Yep.
again, I want to thank you, Carrie. Everybody, this is
Thank
how it
you.
goes. These are the kind of questions, and it's nice. I try to keep things comfortable, and I try to make people feel comfortable. So I want everybody to have a good night. I love everybody. We'll be back next Sunday. I might get a video out here this week. I might try to do it. So you guys will be the first ones to know if a video comes out.
Yes. All right. I'll let you go. Good night, Maddie.
All right, you take it easy. Bye.
Bye.